Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Today, we're going to get a little dirty and we're going to learn how to repair walls together. Scott, my husband, he is a professional. And if you're new here, my name is Victoria. We own an interior design business, but we are doing our very first flip of a house ever. So we're giving ourselves 30 days. We'll see how that works out. But we thought this week, instead of doing tear out and painting with you, you're going to see today and learn how to repair walls. Everything from a tiny little hole that's from a nail to a screw hole to literally we're going to take off the old ugly toilet paper holders, towel bars. Do you have that in your house? Because I promise you, if you remove them, repair your walls and paint, it's an immediate uplift. Facelift. We're so happy you're here today, and we just wanted to give back to you and teach you, if you don't know, how to do wall repairs. So let's repair some walls. So when you have the old ugly ceramic towel bars, soap dishes, toilet paper holders, they leave big gaping holes, which you cannot obviously just patch like you would a normal nail hole. How to do a true wall repair like a pro. Of course, we were doing the ceiling repairs at this house, so we had extra sheetrock. You want to measure the hole. You're going to simply mark it with your blade so that we can go back through and slice it so it will easily break off. So this middle section is our pattern, kind of like, well, just making a smaller piece of the wall so that it's nice and firm once the wall repair is done. Even though they do sell patches in the store, to Scott's point, they're really not durable at all, where if you actually use sheetrock like the rest of the wall, it's going to look great, and of course it's a lot more durable. So once you slice it, you're going to simply peel off the pieces, and then you want to make sure it fits back into the big hole. This was where the toilet paper holder was. You can see that it's not quite fitting, so Scott needs to shim off a little bit more of the sheetrock inside so that he can get it to fit nice and snug like a glove. Perfect. So now the next step, we're going to take our mortar and we're going to put it on our putty knife. Forgive me if I don't use all the exact proper terms. We just know how to get the job done. You're going to smooth that on the wall. That way, the piece that we just created has something to stick to initially, and smooth it all out. Get off any of the excess so it's not coming down the wall. And then you take your piece, place it back in the hole, and then spread out the excess onto the wall. Wipe off the extra onto your other knife. Continue to smooth it out. Remember that it's a multi-step process. It's going to take several coats. Let everything dry really good. And you will never know that that toilet paper holder was there. And now we can put a new updated one on the wall instead of the old ceramic one that no one likes to have in their home.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and fill in this hole. When I took out the medicine cabinet, all I did was took my razor blade and I just trimmed off the rough edge of the drywall because it was frayed and sticking out, rather than trying to beat it back down later when I go to tape and mud. Then you want to come in and you want to measure. Okay, we got just over 14 inches, just over 18 inches. I already pre-cut the 2x4s so that I can put one here, one here, one here, and one up here. All right, this one here's got a couple of nails sticking out. I'm not really going to concern myself with that. All right, so we'll shoot that one in last. But all we're going to do is we're going to line this up with the face of the other 2x4 that's in there. Sheetrock to fit, screw it in, tape it, and butt it.
And that's going to be just like we did the small ones, but a bigger version?
Nope, it's going to fit right inside. There's not going to be any paper going over the outside.
Oh.
We'll use tape around the outside.
Gotcha.
All right?
So now we've learned how to patch a big hole. What about the everyday holes like this? And let me show you some more behind me. Like these, right? When you take down a picture and you just want to rearrange something in your house. Or bigger holes like this when you have to change the curtain rods. Scott's gonna talk us through now how to do that properly so it looks like there was never a hole there.
One of the biggest problems is when you go to repair a hole, it's sticking out or frayed on the outside. That's what this is for. When you have a trowel, you need a metal end on there. So you can take your metal end and recess your holes. Push everything into the wall, right? Now you have a little divot. You're gonna take your mud. There it is. That's the first coat. We'll come back after we sand it if it needs touching up, because the temperature inside the wall sometimes will make a hole swell. It'll bubble out because the temperature in the wall is warmer than the temperature in the room. So it'll bubble out. You have to sand that off.
So after you do another coat,
So
then
this right here, you can see this is, if I try to mud over that the way it is without recessing it,
right?
see the lines? That'll never sit flush.
Ah, okay.
Okay?
So you want to always make
So
sure.
we'll scrape all that off. Come back, recess all of our points, right?
I have a question because those holes are so tiny and you're doing a much larger spot on the wall. Why do you do that?
The idea is whenever you put something on top of the wall, mud, wallpaper, anything, it sticks out further. They call it floating your wall, or floating a seam in your drywall, or floating out these repairs, is because you have to make the repair much larger so that it sticks out off of the surface of the wall, but then the edges taper off, and you need it big enough to where you're not going to see your eye won't catch the taper. So it'll just look like the wall's flat. That's the goal. You can't just plug a small hole and expect it that once you sand it down flat, then it's gonna stay. It won't. You'll always see the ring, and then it'll eventually pop out.
So like this, there's more, and it's definitely raised. So step one, flatten it. Then float it out much larger than the actual hole is.
That nail is a tiny little nail. It was painted over, but nobody ever set it. See, I scraped it off. It's shiny right there. There's another one right there, another nail. I'll scrape the head off. It's right there. Hear that?
I hear it, honey.
That means it's not flat. It's not.
And now the ticking is gone.
But even when you have bad paint jobs, hear it?
So you want it to be smooth.
Right. You scrape off any big boogers that you see in the field.
Not literal boogers. Yeah, and another trick when buying paint, so you, of course, when you're redoing your walls, you definitely want to do the wall repair as Scott is showing you. Something else I suggest is going with a matte finish in your paint, because that is going to be the most forgiving finish that you can buy for painting your walls. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We are so happy that you were here. I hope that you're encouraged and inspired and you feel like you have what it takes to repair your walls at home, and that you're not like me and I literally have used toothpaste before. No more toothpaste. Get out your supplies and repair the walls properly, because we can't wait to show you next week. We've been painting and the walls look amazing, but they would not look like that if we didn't prepare the walls properly.
They wouldn't look like that if it wasn't for her amazing son.
Yeah, we all know Nate is a rock star. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you were encouraged, inspired, and truly learned something today. And we are excited to hang out next week as we paint this orange park house. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.